County Board of County Commissioners meeting for September 18th, 2024 at 9 a.m. I'm going to call this meeting to order. Please stand for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. Dear Lord, we invite you to preside over this meeting. Even if we have different opinions, give us unity of spirit. Excuse me. Help us listen politely as others share their points of view. Help us to work as a whole rather than as individuals trying to promote their own agendas. May we have a spirit of camaraderie in this room and work together on our shared mission. Protect our first responders and military men and women wherever they may be serving. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of our country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Commissioner McCullough.
Here.
Commissioner Gray.
Here.
Commissioner Farmer.
Here.
Commissioner Hutman.
Here.
And Chair Martin.
Here. County Manager, do you have any expansions or deletions from the agenda?
I do not, sir. Thank you.
County Attorney?
I have no expansion. Thank you, sir.
Brings us into Resolutions, Proclamations, tab A. Approve a proclamation of the Board of County Commissioners of Nassau County, Florida, recognizing Gregory Scott Roberts on his retirement from Nassau County Fire Rescue. Entertain a motion.
So moved, Mr. Chairman. Second.
Motion from Commissioner Hutman, second by Commissioner Farmer. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Firefighter Roberts, would you please come to the podium, and Commissioner McCullough will read the proclamation.
Is the chief going to come up there too? and
Chief,
speak?
come on up there, too.
Come on.
Congratulations.
It's an honor to do this proclamation for you. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to start and then we'll go ahead with you. Okay. This is a proclamation of the Board of County Commissioners of Nassau County, Florida, honoring Mr. Gregory Roberts on his retirement after 25 years of service to our county. Whereas Mr. Gregory Roberts began his employment with Nassau County on January 19, 1999 as a firefighter EMT. And whereas Mr. Gregory Roberts was promoted to an engineer on October 19, 2013, and stayed in that position until he announced his retirement effective August 2nd, 2024. And whereas Mr. Roberts has consistently given all for the employees and the residents of Nassau County and has reflected great credit upon the Board of County Commissioners. And whereas Mr. Roberts will be greatly missed by those who had the pleasure to work with him, as well as the citizens of Nassau County that he worked so hard to protect. Now therefore be it proclaimed this 18th day of September 2024 by the Board of County Commissioners of Nassau County, Florida, that number one, the board publicly commends Gregory Roberts for his outstanding service and dedication to Nassau County. Number two, the board, on behalf of all of the citizens of Nassau County, extend their sincere appreciation to Gregory Roberts for all he has done to make this county great. And number three, the board hereby expresses our best wishes to Gregory Roberts for his continued health and happiness in the years to come. And this is certified by our chairman, Mr. John F. Martin, and attested to the clerk by John A. Crawford and Miss Denise May. And Mr. Roberts, it is truly a pleasure, and I know Mr. Chief Rigdon's going to come and present this plaque to you, but I just want to say truly thank you on behalf of the Board of County Commissioners for your lifetime dedication to our residents and their safety. So thank you, Mr. Roberts. Do that again.
Over there. Yeah, let her do this well.
We'll get one up there.
25 years is a long time. Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Scott has demonstrated an exemplary career here in Nassau County, and we're sorry to see him go, but he has big plans moving forward, and his wife's here with him this morning, and we just want to say thank you very much for 25 years of service, and we have this plaque for you, and I want to say we're going to miss you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you.
ahead and get the family up there too, if they're here.
You're the center of our attention. It is your honor.
Would you like to say a few words?
I'm not much of a speaker. Thank you all.
Okay. Enjoy your retirement. Tab B, approve proclamation of the Board of County Commissioners of Nassau County, Florida, recognizing Edward McLarty on his retirement from Nassau County Fire Rescue. And I'll entertain a motion on that.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve tab B.
Second.
Motion from Commissioner Gray, second by Commissioner McCullough. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. And Commissioner Gray will present this proclamation.
Mr. McLarty, would you please meet me up at the podium? Good morning, sir. Good morning, Chief. All right, congratulations. Good morning. A proclamation of the Board of County Commissioners of Nassau County, Florida, honoring Edward McLarty on his retirement after 36 years of service to the county. That's a long time. Whereas Mr. Edward McLarty began his employment with Nassau County on December 24, 1987 as an EMT, and whereas Edward McLarty was promoted to a paramedic on February 17, 1989, and stayed in that position until he announced his retirement effective August 31, 2024. And whereas Edward McLarty has consistently given his all for the employees and residents of Nassau County and has reflected great credit upon the Board of County Commissioners. And whereas Edward McLarty will be greatly missed by those who had the pleasure to work with him, as well as the citizens of Nassau County that he worked so hard to protect. Now therefore, it be proclaimed this 18th day of September 2024 by the Board of County Commissioners of Nassau County, Florida, that 1, the board publicly commends Edward McLarty for his outstanding service and dedication to Nassau County. 2, the board on behalf of all citizens of Nassau County extends their sincere appreciation to Mr. Edward McLarty for all he has done to make this county great. And 3, the board hereby expresses best wishes to Edward McLarty for continued health and happiness for many years to come. And this proclamation is signed by John A. Crawford, our clerk, and our Board of County Commissioners Chairman, Mr. John F. Martin, and approved and signed by our Nassau County Attorney, Ms. Denise May. And I want to say thank you very much. 36 years is a long time, and we appreciate you being a paramedic all that time. Would you like to say a couple words?
It's been 36 years, 8 months, and 6 days.
To be exact.
Who's counting?
Yeah, really. It's been a great career. When I started, we had, I think, 5 rescues. I think it's grown quite a bit since then. I've seen quite a lot of changes. A lot of people come and go, and I'm going to miss not coming to work. I still enjoyed the job, but it was just time to go. So, but thank you all for all you've done, and appreciate you. Thank you.
So he's got Scott by 11 years, so that's a long time. 36 years together, we've lost 61 years of experience today, so that's pretty significant. But Edward has been at Station 20 on the south end of the island for the latest part of his career, and he too will be very missed, and we appreciate all you've done for the citizens of Nassau County here.
Do you have any family with you here today?
My dad's here.
Come on up, Dad.
Oh, wow.
He just turned 91 last week.
Oh, wow.
Happy birthday. Now, I know you're excited to stay for the rest of the agenda, but you're not going to hurt our feelings if you decide to exit stage right. Okay, tab C, approve a proclamation of the Board of County Commissioners declaring October 2023 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Nassau County, Florida. Yeah, it should be, that's a typo. It should be October 2024, I'm sorry.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve tab C
Second.
as corrected.
Yeah, I should have caught that. A motion from Commissioner Upman, second from Commissioner Farmer. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. I see you're already on your way up. All right, come on up, and Commissioner Farmer is going to present the proclamation.
Hobbling along. Proclamation of Board of County Commissioners of Nassau County, Florida, proclaiming October 2024 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Whereas all citizens have a fundamental right to safety in their lives, homes, and community, and whereas statistics show 20 people become victims of domestic violence every minute, and that domestic violence is the leading cause of injury to women between the ages of 18 through 34, and whereas domestic violence plays a key role in other social problems, including homelessness, pregnancy outcomes, mental health, substance abuse, child abuse, and unemployment, and whereas the provision of education on community services available for victims is one of the most important life-saving services a community can provide for victims of domestic violence, and whereas coordination between law enforcement, Department of Children and Families, civil and criminal courts, healthcare providers, batterers intervention programs, domestic violence centers, and the community has proven to be the best way to provide for the safety of victims. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners of Nassau County, Florida, this 18th day of September 2024, that the month of October 2024 is hereby proclaimed as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Nassau County, Florida. And the board hereby urges all citizens to work with the agencies and individuals to provide all individuals the safety they have every right to expect. And it is signed by John F. Martin, the chairman, John Crawford, the clerk, and Denise May, the county attorney.
Would you like to say a few words? Now, I know who you are, but please, I said, I know who you are. Please state your name and your organization for the benefit of the public.
Yes, we are Micah's Place Domestic Violence Services here in Nassau County. We're the only certified domestic violence services, and we would just like to say thank you very much on behalf of our staff and the survivors that we work with. Oh, and I'm Barb. Lisa.
And I'm Lisa Roger.
All right, thank you. Tab D, excuse me. Approve a proclamation of the Board of County Commissioners recognizing the ARC Nassau on 50 years of service in Nassau County, Florida.
So moved, I move to approve tab B.
Motion from Commissioner Hutman, second by Commissioner Gray. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Commissioner Hutman is going to present the proclamation to representatives of ARC.
Proclamation of the Board of County Commissioners recognizing the ARC Nassau on 50 years of service to Nassau County. Whereas ARC Nassau has been providing support and services to individuals with intellectual disabilities since 1974 and now celebrates 50 years of service to the community. Whereas ARC Nassau announced its merger with Northeast Florida Advocates for Autism and Related Disabilities and will now be providing services to all age groups. Whereas the individuals with developmental disabilities make up 13% of the total population of Florida. 75% of those individuals live with caregivers. 31% of those caregivers are over the age of 60. Whereas individuals and families must register through the Agency for Persons with Disabilities upon completion of this complicated multi-step process. There is a wait time of 10 to 14 years for approval on a wait list comprised of 22,000 individuals. The ARC Nassau provides hope in Nassau County for individuals with developmental disabilities and their families. Whereas the ARC Nassau looks to the community for continued support, seeing the able and not the label, and promoting inclusion through vocational support and social support of our individuals and their families. Whereas the ARC community is built on the foundation of respect, cooperation, inclusion, and support. The ARC Nassau continues to invest time, energy, and resources to build a community of both compassion and tenacity. Whereas, with continued support, the ARC Nassau's Board of Directors, under the leadership of Executive Director Jennifer Polk, the ARC Nassau will undergo a tremendous amount of infrastructural and curriculum-based changes, leading the way into the next 50 years of service. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners of Nassau County on this 18th day of September that the Board recognizes and commemorates Nassau County on 50 years of service to the community. The Board recognizes the many contributions that ARC Nassau has made to Nassau County and its residents. The Board extends our best wishes to ARC Nassau for all their future endeavors. That's signed by Commissioner John Martin, attested to by John Crawford, Clerk of the Court, and approved by Denise May, County Attorney.
Just something real quick. Good morning. On behalf of the ARC Nassau, my senior leadership team, and our board of directors, thank you for this proclamation today. We are honored to provide services to the community for the intellectual and developmental disabled. And as Hupman said, we now will be including the younger demographics, and we'll host a summer camp this next summer. So thank you so much. We're honored and thrilled to provide these services.
Thank you. Okay, that will bring us into presentations. The time limit is 15 minutes. Tab E, recognize employees for years of service. County Manager.
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity. When we have major milestones with employees, we like to celebrate those in a public way, not only to recognize their contribution to the organization, to the citizens of Nassau County, but also to hold up and recognize the value that comes with longevity and the expertise that's been developed over time. The two individuals we're going to talk about in just a moment are absolute rock stars within our organization, and over the last couple of weeks, let's say the last 60 days with the rains that we've had, and especially the challenges over the last couple of weeks, these two individuals in the Public Works Department played a really big role in making sure that we were able to coordinate response in the manner in which we did. And so if Mr. Podiak and his team meet me up here at the podium, we'll ask Miss Becky Dyden if she would come up, please. You know, celebrating 30 years for Miss Becky Dyden. Thank you. And we will have Doug here.
Morning, Commissioners.
Good morning, sir.
We talk a lot about the boots on the ground, boots in the field, and boots going. Becky is heels in the hallway. I'm sorry. And I think that we need to really recognize on that, because without people like Becky, we would not be able to get the boots on the ground in the field. So Becky's 30 years of experience that you can't hold a candle to it, and you just couldn't ask for a better employee, somebody that's more vested with the county, and what she gives the county is by far none the best. So with that, I congratulate Becky on 30 years of service.
I'm going to have to give a speech. 30 years, it seems like yesterday, but I have to say, being in the Public Works Department now, there's not a day go by that I don't learn something new. And I enjoy that task, and I hope to enjoy several more years there at the Public Works Department. Thank you.
Thank you for your service. Did you start when you were 5?
Sir?
I said, did you start when you were 5?
No, sir, but thank you.
Look, you should.
Yeah, don't forget him.
All right, and next, Ms. Jennifer Kirkland. And I believe this is David.
Morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
All I can say is it's been a pleasure to work with Jennifer. I've had the pleasure of working with her directly for 2 decades now. And like Doug and Taco mentioned before, we have the boots on the ground and are doing a lot of great things, achieving your vision here in Nassau County. But without Becky and Jennifer, they don't get to do those things. They're behind the scenes, make everything happen, and you will not find a more dedicated person than Jennifer Kirkland. She, just a quick example, the other day, she was off last Friday, didn't hesitate to answer the phone when I called her, and she worked the EOC all weekend, answering calls. So that shows you the level of dedication Miss Jennifer has, and like I say, it's been a pleasure, and we have affectionately called her Mama Bear. She cares about everybody in the field. She wants to make sure everybody's taken care of, so she's well loved by all public works personnel. And congratulations.
It's been a pleasure to work for the county. It's been such a blessing just to work close to home and get to know the people you work with. We have great people that work at the county. And I'm glad he didn't mention my other name, which is Squirrely, so, you know, I'll take Mama Bear any day. But thank you all. It's been a privilege.
Thank you.
Just going along with what David said about answering calls and doing things when you don't have to. When I walked in, for everybody that didn't know, when I walked in before the meeting today, and I know Jennifer, and I said hello to her, she was walking out to go put a fire out, to take care of a call that she just got. So thank you for your dedication. Okay, tab F, Friends of the Amelia Island Trail regarding the Amelia Island Trail system. Mr. Pakula.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning.
I'm Mike Pikula, and I'm president of a nonprofit organization called Friends of the Amelia Island Trail. I have some board members here with me tonight, Bill Moore, Dan Lehman, and Mike Spino. They're going to help out with a little presentation in a few minutes. Our 501c3 organization became a state-recognized entity on September 27, 2012, 12 years ago this month. Our mission is to identify needs for and help build safe off-road pathways for walkers, runners, and cyclists on Amelia Island. Working with the City of Fernandina Beach and Nassau County staff and various organizations, including the North Florida Transportation Planning Organization, the NFTPO, and the National East Coast Greenway Alliance, the Florida Department of Transportation, and the Nassau County School Board, we facilitated construction of numerous sidewalks and trails on Amelia Island. Most of these projects were fully funded by federal grants through the TPO. In addition to various sidewalks around schools and short recreational paths, there are now 3 major paved off-road trails on Amelia Island. The first major trail, completed in 2013, was our 7-mile-long Amelia Island Trail, which runs from Peters Point Park to the south end of Amelia Island. Our Amelia Island Trail organization constructed orientation displays at Peters Point Park. We did trail signage and 5 rest stops with benches along the trail. Next, we worked with county staff, Florida Public Utilities, developers of Crane Island, and 7 different community associations to facilitate approvals and construction of a 2.8-mile-long Amelia River to Sea Trail from the beach access at Simmons Road westward across Amelia Island to the Amelia River. The Crane Island Company partnered with Nassau County to add a public park with nature trails and a dock on the Amelia River. Our Amelia Island Trail Organization constructed 3 rest stops, bicycle racks at the parking areas, and a bicycle service station. Some of you might remember a grand opening ceremony back in September 23, 2019. This year, segment 1 of 4 total segments of the 3.2-mile Amelia Island Parkway Trail from South Fletcher Avenue to South 8th Street, A1A, was completed. Only 1 of 4 so far. The other 3 segments are being contracted out for construction. We hope will be completed in 2025 or 26. We expect to construct 2 or 3 rest stops along this new trail as well. None of these great community amenities would have been possible without the full support of the Nassau County Commission and staff, you and your predecessors. And I'm here tonight to thank you, present a tangible display of appreciation. However, before we do that, I need to recognize a few other people by name. In addition to the full support of commissioners and many staff over the past 12 years, I'd like to recognize several current county staff and employees. So thanks go to Amber Carter, Beth Moore, Abigail Girondi, Denise May from the legal office, Lene Gilmore and her staff from procurement, Tabitha Givens, George Murray, and Ray Albury from capital projects, Doug Podiak and David Hearn from public works, Darren Marsh, our road department director, and Nathan Russell, our sign technician, and Sabrina Robinson, I'm going to embarrass you over there, our public information officer.
You have to take a selfie now.
And of course, at the pointy end of the county's executive spear are Marshall Ironman and Robert Companion, our assistant county managers. And of course, special thanks goes to Taco Pope, our county manager. As an aside, Mr. Pope and I worked closely on our first trail projects way back when he was a brand-new county employee. I remember sitting in your little office and clustered around a computer, and we had the maps out and saying, no, we don't want to go there. There's a stoplight. We better go over here. We drew the maps.
Yep.
Thank you. He had some great computer mapping skills back then, and he's continued that exceptional support. So with all that said, I'd like to unveil a plaque that will help us remember the fine work of so many people who would improve quality of life for county residents and guests. Would Chairman Martin and County Manager Pope please join me for a presentation?
That's cool. Very nice.
That's very nice.
You get a little decorated. I'm not sure where you're going to put it, but lots of wall space in here. So
Where do you want us to go, Sabrina? Move over by the side, or?
I think she got you. Anyway, the inscription, of course, says to Nassau County Commission and staff, thank you for building and maintaining our wonderful trails from Friends of the Amelia Island Trail. So that's to all of you. All of you. Thank you. Thank you.
I think you said it.
Right there?
Right there.
Right there.
All right. And I'm sure County Manager Pope will find our appropriate place to. No.
So through the chair, I think Mr. Pakula's understating his involvement and the club's involvement. I can tell you that Mr. Pakula has been a champion, not just for the cycling community, but for the community as a whole. When we talk about mobility, we talk about connectivity, these alternative paths, these trails really provide us an opportunity for health and wellness, as well as for transportation on the island as we continue to grow and expand. The foundation that was laid with the spine network of trails on Amelia Island will turn into primary transportation corridors because at some point, just like most barrier islands in Florida, the vehicle will be less and less the primary mode for the day-to-day trips. And really, what started in the early 2000s and was successful with trail planning and execution on the island was really what spurred a lot of the off-island. And so the seeds that were planted, 25 years ago at this point, 30 years ago, resulting in all the new multi-use trails along the entire William Burgess community inside the East Nassau Community Planning Area. And now you'll start seeing pieces of trail all along State Road 200, and it'll keep going west. And so big kudos to Mr. Pakula personally and then the club for being a catalyst for, alternative modes of transportation via cycling. So kudos to him.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. All right, that'll take us into the consent items. If any board member wishes to move a consent item to new business, please do so now. Does any member of the public want to speak on a consent item? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Motion from Commissioner Farmer, second by Commissioner Putman. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, new business. Any member of the public may address any item under new business at this time. Time limit is 3 minutes each. Is there anyone who wishes to address any item under new business? If you do, you can do it at this time or when that tab comes up on the agenda. All right, seeing none, we'll move into tab N, approve and authorize the chairman to sign an interlocal agreement with the city of Fernandina Beach for the redevelopment and operation of the Ybor Alvarez Sports Complex.
Yes, sir, through the
County
chair.
Manager.
Thank you. This is a very exciting one for all of us. When we talk about our recreation system and maintaining the capacity of our recreation system, we're talking about not only the county BOCC operated facilities, but also those of our municipalities, the state level and the national level with our national parks. We had an opportunity to partner with the city of Fernandina Beach and maintain some of the capacity within the recreation system, primarily for soccer, but it's rectangle multi-use fields on Amelia Island. There's some challenges with being associated with the airport, and so what this interlocal agreement will do is allow a partnership between the city and the county to secure the playing fields at the Ybor Alvarez Sports Complex in perpetuity. The interlocal agreement follows the directives of the Board of County Commissioners in terms of fees for usage being consistent both for city and non-city residents. And then the city of Fernandina has already executed the interlocal agreement, and so this will be the opportunity for us to all move forward and secure those fields in perpetuity.
Great, thank you. Any questions for County Manager Pope?
No, just a quick comment, Mr.
Commissioner Hutton?
Yeah, thanks. This is, again, part of the ongoing efforts for the county and the city to look at areas where we can work together. We can make a difference. Locking this down in perpetuity is a big deal. We had to suffer a move to this facility once. And so this is good for all citizens of both areas going forward. Thanks, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, this is a big deal. This isn't, we've, as Commissioner Hutton said, we've made efforts over the past couple of years to have a better working relationship with all municipalities, but specifically improve our relationship with the city of Fernandina Beach. And we've come up with several programs and changed some ordinances so that we could free up some money to help the city. And this is a big deal. This is not like, a couple of thousand or 100,000. This is, correct me if I'm wrong, we're both equally in, the city and the county each are in for $1.7 million.
That's correct, sir.
All right, so this is a big deal. And I'm very happy to see it come through, and I commend County Manager and his staff, County Attorney and her staff for, the wheels of government move very slow. And so they've worked hard to get this complicated agenda item here for us to vote on it. And I'm anticipating a unanimous vote. So I'll entertain a motion on tab N.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Got a motion from Commissioner Hutman, a second by Commissioner Farmer. Any questions, comments, or discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Tab O, receive the request from the sheriff and mutually agree to the use of the additional $283,043.81 being committed to complete construction contract requirements and initial setup of the classroom and storage buildings for the Northeast Florida Public Safety Training Facility, Phase 2. Mr. Ironman.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. One of the great things, going back to I think it was my first day here almost, is I got to go out to the 40 acres off of 108 where the board has designated a public safety training center. At that point, they were doing the groundbreaking for the shooting range. That was funded through the Board of County Commissioners. They have that shooting range in place. Phase 2 of the project is the public safety training building that will provide not only additional operational support for the sheriff, but room for training all of the deputies. That has been funded through legislative appropriations received by the board, along with $2 million of impact fees for about $8 million on that project. As they're nearing completion on the project, the sheriff at this time is requesting an additional $283,000 to basically equip some of the classrooms and provide storage buildings as well. They're requesting that 283 out of what is our interlocal agreement for housing of federal detainees in the detention center. That is an interlocal where the Board of County Commissioners essentially provides the full funding for housing those federal inmates, and any portion of reimbursement received then is set aside and available for our Public Safety Training Center, whether it's for design, construction, or the ongoing maintenance of that facility. So this time, the sheriff is requesting that portion of 283 to be allowed to help him with completing these buildings so they can bring them online.
Any questions for Mr. Ironman? Entertain a motion on tab O.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second it.
Motion by Commissioner Upman, second by Commissioner Farmer. Any questions, comments, or discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Tab P, retroactively approve legislative appropriation requests in compliance with the Board of County Commissioners grants policy and authorize the chairman to sign the State of Florida Department of Law Enforcement Grant Award, contract number CM 3753 for the Nassau County Public Safety Training Complex Phase 3 in the amount of $400,000 with no, I like this part, with no matching funds required. Mr. Ironman?
Yes, sir. Again, continuing with the Public Safety Training Center, this is an additional phase. So the sheriff, although didn't meet the timelines for our legislative appropriation, was able to go to the state, seek additional legislative appropriations for a canine training facility. Although their request was in excess of $800,000, they were only funded $400,000. So that funding will provide us the ability to design the canine training facility and potentially some site work. It will not provide for the construction of that facility at this time. So part of this request is accepting that grant, allowing us to move forward, and then county staff will work on the design of that facility. And then just for the record on the future phases, as mentioned before, that would be part of the winter strategic planning session as we have the full 40 acres to dedicate towards law enforcement, corrections, fire and rescue, and other safety operations through the counties.
I will entertain a motion for tab P.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Motion from Commissioner Farmer, second by Commissioner Hupman. Any questions, comments, or discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Tab Q, consider the following. 1, adopt a resolution in support of the South Amelia Island Shore Stabilization Project, agreeing to continue serving as sponsor of the project and to provide the local cost share through the South Amelia Island Shore Stabilization Municipal Service Benefit Unit. 2, confirm the county manager's approval of the preliminary approval of the local government funding as provided in the application and supporting documents. Mr. Ironman.
Yes, again, thank you, Chair. As part of our South Amelia Island Shore Stabilization Program, that requires ongoing monitoring, whether it's physical monitoring or shorebirds, sea turtles. And so what this request is really funding an additional year of the monitoring. The state portion is what we're requesting. The local match will come actually from our SACE MSBU. So it will be funded through the property owners, not through general tax dollars. But this will meet our requirement for the ongoing monitoring.
Any questions for Mr. Ironman? I see Mr. Moore's in the audience today. Is there anything you'd like to add? Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve tab Q.
Second.
Motion from Commissioner Upman, second by Commissioner Farmer. Questions, comments, or discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Tab R, approve a resolution updating the financial policies of the Board of County Commissioners and providing an effective date. Mr. Ironman,
Yes, sir.
you're on a roll today.
I have a couple, so. So part of our policies requires the county to continually review our operating policies, our financial policies, although we will update them throughout the year based on certain considerations and looking at kind of this process of continual improvement. This is our annual update for all of the financial policies. You'll see them listed here. Most of them not significant updates. Our budget policy, we've updated for constitutional budget requests. As we know through the budget, we typically seek them to be in an amount equal to or below the ad valorem growth, and so we're just placing this in our policy so it's clearly communicated. With the fund balance and reserve policy, clarification on the sand MSTU, that the $50,000 is just one piece of it, plus the monitoring cost. There was some reading errors in that, so we wanted to make sure, as we got feedback, we clarified that. Some of the capital expenditures, other ones, there's minor items, our debt management policy. We did receive feedback from our contracted financial advisor, and so we've reviewed that with the clerk and implemented some of those in the policy as well. There is other items tying to our grant manual policy. Again, that is a newer policy, and so we see more clarification coming from those. And as we have new staff in there going through that policy, making sure it meets their needs and the needs of the county. Again, a lot of them are just really minor items. Employee recognition policy, we do have that where the board has directed us to invest more in our employees, and so this allows some recognition awards, whether it's plaques, trophies, tokens of appreciation. So all of these are kind of implemented through these policies, but we want to make sure you're aware, and if you have any questions on those.
Questions for Mr. Ironman?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Gray?
I make a motion to approve tab R.
Second.
A motion from Commissioner Gray, second by Commissioner McCullough. Questions, comments, or discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Tab S, set a shade meeting of the Board of County Commissioners on September 23rd, 2024 at 4 p.m. to discuss the labor agreement between Nassau County and Fire Rescue Professionals, Local 3101. Is that date good for everybody?
Yes, sir.
Entertain a motion.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Commissioner Hubman, second by Commissioner Farmer. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, informational items, tab T is informational only. I'm assuming these are available on our website now. Florida Forest Service Annual Report for 2023, 2024, if you're interested. And tab U, road closure notice, Chester Road at First Coast Railroad, closing from September 19th, 2024 through September 23rd, 2024. And we had planned on doing that earlier, but our rain events kind of held us up. Commissioner Gray?
Yes, sir. I also want to make a point of clarification. That's September 19th, 2024. We pushed it back one more day, so it'll start on the 20th.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
It's due to the torrential historic rainfall event that we've been experiencing here in Nassau County.
Will that extend the end time to the 24th, or will it still be the 23rd?
I am unsure. I believe it will.
It's the 24th.
I need to go with Mr. Companion, but I do believe
Let's
it will.
just go ahead
Yeah.
and
Move it one more
plan for
day.
the, yes, so it'll be from, the closure will be from September 20th, 2024 to September 24th.
Correct.
2024.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And if we finish early, that's a bonus. Okay, general public comment. Comments can only be for items under the authority of the Board of County Commissioners. Time limit is 3 minutes. I don't know that this has happened since I've been chairman. I have no comment cards. Miss Jackie Osborne must be out of town. All right, so there's no public comment. County Manager's business, we got tab V under County Manager, Nassau County Fire Rescue, Public Education, Regional Fire Safety.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So again, another great partnership with the city of Fernandina Beach. We have with us Chief Silcox in the back of the room, And so we collectively, through Chief Rigdon and Chief Silcox, were able to secure a pretty cool piece of training equipment, the Fire Safety Education Trailer. And so if the board would like, following the meeting, we will have it available. You can tour it, take a look at it. It's actually a pretty cool training tool. It was more elaborate than I anticipated it to be, so it was very impressive. And so we thank both the chiefs for being committed and for being here today.
Thank you, County Manager. Anything else?
No, sir.
County Attorney's business.
I have no further business, thank you, sir.
County Commissioner items. I think we start with Commissioner Huffman today.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll be brief. One, I wanted to commend the staff for the response over the weekend, certainly Thursday, Friday. Fairly unprecedented, maybe 1969 is what I'm hearing. October 69 was the biggest rain since until this weekend. So a lot of folks spent their weekend, as you heard earlier, responding, working when they weren't supposed to work. They were on it. The county was nimble, brought in some outside assistance to make sure we could get things unjammed and moving. And so I commend them. Two, I commend the community itself. Saw a lot of folks helping each other, a lot of neighbors helping neighbors, and that's really, at times like this, is a testament to the kind of place we live in Nassau County and Amelia Island. And so well done to the citizens as well for taking care of each other. That's all I'm going to say today, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Huffman. Commissioner McCullough.
Mr. Hutman, I would agree with that statement. You know, when you have these communities where we still have a lot of private-owned roads, I've seen just neighbors come together. They've helped our fire and rescue teams who have gotten stuck on the dirt roads, just everybody working together, because ultimately no one can control the weather. And so kudos, Mr. Pope, for you commanding our staff quickly, efficiently, effectively. I'm so grateful as a resident, not even as a commissioner, as a resident, to see I know on our road alone, we've had some major issues with the culvert on Lake Hampton. The team was out there, it was Thursday night or Friday night, and I do apologize, through the rain. I mean, they were out there in the pouring rain trying to repair so this family could literally get in and out of their home. I mean, and you just saw this across the county, is that I stopped and talked to one of my former students, DJ Blake, and it's like, oh my gosh, they are just working around the clock, but they're working so hard for the residents of our community. And so they're such a testament to Nassau County and the amazing work staff we have. You know, congratulations to Mr. Roberts. He spent his whole life, Mr. McClarty with the Nassau County Fire Rescue. Miss Becky, she worked at the she was always at the landfill forever when I was a little kid. Miss Becky, she has the wealth of knowledge that woman has on this county. She is a testament to true life servanthood. She's just an amazing person to represent Nassau County. So all of our years of service employees, the ARC is I'm so excited to see them partnering with the Northeast Florida Advocates for Autism, because I think, you know, when you can have two major groups who are serving our residents work together to better serve a broader age group of residents. As an educator, as a mother in this county, I'm excited to see that move forward for our residents and the students that they serve. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner McCullough. Commissioner Gray.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I also want to commend staff and thank all of our employees during this historic rainfall event we've been subjected to here in Nassau County. You know, I say this a lot, I can't say it enough, our employees are our greatest asset. You know, Road and Bridge, Nassau County Fire Rescue, Stormwater, I can't name them all. Just everyone behind the scenes. This has been a tough week for all of us, I know, and but we gotta commend and be grateful for our great employees that we have here in Nassau County. So on Thursday, September 12th, I attended the FSCJ Betty Cook Nassau Campus CDV, Commercial Driving Vehicle Program launch, and Commissioner Huffman was there as well. It was well attended by Nassau County Economic Development Board as a celebration and a ribbon cutting all in one. Ms. Sherry Mitchell was there. Staff and the dignitaries from the college were there. It was well represented. We had Senator Clay Yarborough in attendance, our House Rep Legislative Aide, Mr. George Spicer, along with a lot of dignitaries. And it was a wonderful event. $3 million dedication of that driving pad. They had two heavy-duty semis and one box truck out there on display. That's going to be providing well-paying jobs, training for those well-paying jobs for our county citizens here in Nassau County. It's a testament to we're moving forward in economic development, and it was a great event with Commissioner Huffman.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. That's all I have, Mr. Martin.
Thank you, Commissioner Gray. Commissioner Farmer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Excited about tab P at $400,000 to start that canine facility is a huge step in the right direction for public safety. Back on September 7th, I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but we had some bad guys, some bad people come from Duval County out here to vandalize and burglarize our cars in Heron Isles there between the Chester and Black Rock area. And one of our apprehension canines, Canine Rex, was able to apprehend those suspects and put them where they belong, and that was behind bars. So at the end of the day, I'm real happy to say I take great pride in approving tab P and standing behind the fine men and women that wear the badge, and especially those canine handlers that go out and face danger for our residents to put these people where they belong. I'd like to give a huge shout out to Road and Bridge. The men and women there have been weeks and weeks of basically 2 steps forward and 3 steps backwards. Taco, Marshall, Robert, I can't say enough good things about our staff. Like my colleagues have said, these guys are getting beat on just like all of us are getting beat on, and we've rose to the occasion and made sure that we've put our best foot forward for the citizens we serve. Again, like Commissioner Huttman said, I had several people that were calling up saying, hey, you know, I've got a pump, I've got hoses, I've got cords, what can I do to help? And we were dispersing privately a lot of, tools and resources to people through the friend and family loop, neighbor loop, and I tell you, it just goes a long way. It says who we are as a community to help one another in this way, and that's what makes me proud to be a Nassau County resident, friend, neighbor, and business owner here. There's a big rivalry this week, Friday night. We got Yulee versus West Nassau, my alma mater at Warrior Field. Kickoff's at 7 p.m. Come out and see us in the press box. Go Warriors. And I'd like to say congratulations to all of our retirees that were honored today. Thank you to the ladies there, especially Miss Dyde and Miss Kirkland. They do a phenomenal job behind the scenes, and they're not out in the public, but I can assure you when you call, those are those nice ladies that are helping get the information to where it belongs, and they don't go unnoticed. Also, don't want to miss the opportunity to congratulate Chief Ty Silcox in the back of the room on his upcoming retirement and thank him for his years of service. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Farmer. So to avoid being repetitive, I'm just going to say ditto to everything that my colleagues have said, but I will add one more thing to it. Whenever it rains, and my colleagues, and I know county managers heard me said this, whenever we get some heavy rain around here, even if it's not really heavy, I kind of say a little prayer and thank that I have District 1, okay? Because my district, it doesn't flood that much, and so I don't get bombarded with calls and emails like my colleagues in Yulee and on the west side do. But this time, the rain was so bad that I was getting calls and emails about it affecting areas in District 1. And so I get to feel it a little bit like Commissioner Farmer, Gray, and McCullough do, but not as much. And in doing so, I reach out to the county manager via text or phone call and email, and he's Johnny on the spot. The reaction, and you may want to get your nickel back, county manager, after what I'm going to say next. The reaction from the county manager and his staff and the employees throughout the county, what are we, a 756 square mile county, was remarkable. And then, it's sad when you see things, whether it's on social media or whatever, where there was a rumor, and I almost hesitate to say this, but I think, because I don't want to add to it, but there was a rumor out there that we were pulling resources from the west side to the east side, and like the east side got preferential treatment. And that is absolutely not the case. That's not the case at all. County manager and his staff used all available resources, and I believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, and if you want your nickel back, you can have it. If not, we can move on. You prioritized your resources to the folks that were in the most danger. Like if someone's backyard was flooded, they weren't a priority to someone's house that was flooded. And you may want to elaborate on that a little more.
Through the chair, well, first, you have a really great team. I know that I talk to you all regularly, but both internally and then partnership with Director Cooper at Emergency Management. we have a good support structure that allows for us to be nimble, to react, to bring in resources that are necessary to respond. But yes, sir, it's in a situation like that, just with any large tropical storm that may come in, a hurricane, it's triage, you priority, and so it's safety of individuals, and then we go to folks that have water in their homes, and then down from there, keeping roads passable. The Lake Hampton culvert was a big one. That was a, if you see the pictures, it was impressive. It started to undermine the road. It was an immediate response. And so, yes, sir, it's a matter of just prioritizing. And then as Commissioner Huttman mentioned, you all granting me the ability and the resources to call in private contractors to supplement our staff gives us the ability to really maximize our effectiveness in the field. And they give everybody credit all the way down, really starting Wednesday into Thursday and then all the way through to right now. Your teams have been running, 10, 12, 14-hour days nonstop to stay in front of it. And so it's been a sprint since Debbie, to be honest with you, and we'd love a break.
Well, I just want to make that comment because it's just sad that if someone sees resources being dispatched to the east side, that they assume that was being taken away from the west side. And, negative things like that during a crisis situation, that affects the morale of our employees that are out there busting their tails to make things happen. So you've heard from all my colleagues, and myself included, we all appreciate what our staff and our employees do, the boots on the ground. And so we do. We have a really great team here, and I look forward to working with you for the next 4 years. On that note, we are adjourned.
Good meeting.